This holiday, switch to Cricket Wireless and get a free LG Fortune with no annual contract.
Switch to Cricket. Switch to Cricket. To get a free smartphone. It's free. Free smartphone. Really free.
Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Requires number ported and service activation minimum $30 per month. First month service charge and in-store activation fee up to $25 due at sale. Tax and restrictions apply. One-time fees may apply. See store for details.
Blog Talk Radio.
The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, girl. Just you and me.
Welcome to What's New with VHHughes. I'm your host, Venus Henderson-Hughes. I'm here with my co-host, Chris Hughes. Chris, how you doing this afternoon?
All right. Good to be here.
So today's subject is holiday blues, the causes and ways to find joy in the midst of the blues. And, of course, we know Christmas is, 12 days away, I believe?
I think a little less than that.
Is it less than that? Yeah. Well, you see how much I've been keeping up, right?
Okay.
Regardless of the fact, Christmas is coming. And it's a rough time of the year for people. And, you know, where there are some people who are ecstatic that Christmas is coming and they can't wait to see what, if you believe in Santa Claus, and some people still do in adulthood, what Santa Claus is going to bring or what gifts they're going to get or what gifts they're going to give. Other people are miserable and can't wait till the whole season is over. So I felt like we at H3P should talk about the holiday blues. What is it? What are the symptoms of it? And how to actually get on the other side of it.
Now, I presume some of that deals with the fact that sometime around this time of year for some people, some families, there's loss of a position or job, there's a death, there's some type of hardship that goes on that doesn't really bring the Christmas holiday in mind for some of these families or individuals.
Well, we're going to talk about the definition in a few minutes. Join the conversation, area code 516-453-9934. So according to the medical dictionary, the holiday blues is defined as feelings of sadness, loneliness, depression, and anxiety in and around the holidays. And they could be caused by the loss of family and loved ones through either the divorce or the distance from a childhood home or place where the holiday was most enjoyed in the past. And some of the sources of the holiday blues include stress, fatigue, unrealistic expectations, over-commercialism, and the inability to be with one's loved ones and family friends, in addition to sadness. Now, I know I have had a few bouts of holiday blues in my life, especially in the loss of losing my daughter and the loss of losing my mom and my grandmother. So I do know how it feels to be in that whole holiday blues funk, as well as in the aspect of being a parent and not being able to get the things that you may feel that you want to provide for your children for the holidays. So I understand that whole feeling of the holiday blues and just wanting the whole season to be over with for the various reasons. And I know for a fact that I have friends and even family who are going through the holiday blues this year and probably went through it last year. And it is not a good feeling. And it's so hard because when you have the holiday blues and you have a family, you have to sort of put yourself in a little box in order to be there for the family, and it's very difficult.
But even to be there for the family is one thing. People that are working at particular jobs and you see decorations being put up, people, in the festive mood, to do Secret Santa or just to maybe hospitals visiting patients. I believe some hospitals even allow for holiday dinners or gatherings at their establishments for the staff and patients there. But at the same time, from what you were saying, the fact that some folks just don't have the inclination to be jovial with whatever they're going through personally or professionally.
Now, there's a difference between the holiday blues and seasonal affective disorder. And seasonal affective disorder, as defined by the Mayo Clinic, is a type of depression that is related to the changes in the season. It begins and it ends around the same time of the year. And for most people, their symptoms start in the fall. And it continues into the winter months. And it zaps their energy, and it makes them pretty moody. And I don't believe I've ever, even when I was living in Michigan, had seasonal affective disorder. I actually enjoyed being in the snow and playing in the snow and things like that. However, since my 10 years in Arizona, I do enjoy not being in the snow and playing in the snow. So I guess you adapt to where you are. But going back to some of those feelings of loneliness and depression that comes with the holiday blues, when I think about what happened as far as that first holiday without my mom and grandmother, and the holidays for us were a big thing. My mom helped me decorate the tree in the house and things like that, and she had a particular order in how the tree was to be decorated and things like that, and it made the holiday. And so when you have that person who is that holiday person that was with you and they're no longer there, it is a depressing thing. It is a sad thing because that's their element, and who's going to fill that element? So you don't basically stop the holiday, or at least I couldn't, because like I said, we had young children. But those are those moments that you think about as far as something as simple as decorating the tree. Like right now, truthfully, guys, our tree is not up. Not because we're suffering from the holiday blues. It's just that I'm never in a rush to put the tree up and decorate and things like that. However, our tree will be up this week coming, and the decorations will be happening. But it is difficult to have that very first holiday without that loved one. It is difficult to go through some of those traditions without those loved ones as well. And for those of you that are experiencing the holiday blues for whatever reason, just know that we truly understand and we've been there. And we are here to help you actually maneuver through it. Join the conversation. Area code 516-453-9934. So we talked about what it is. So let's talk about some of the symptoms of the holiday blues.
Okay.
Some of the symptoms pretty much, some of them are sort of a no-duh, but one of the very first ones is headaches. And that's a really interesting thing, the headaches. And I don't know if the headaches are in correlation with the stress that you may be feeling on your shoulders, but the very first one is headaches. The next one is excessive drinking. And, of course, that goes into the whole drowning your troubles category. Another one is overeating. I think that's another one. We tend to we either drink our problems away or we eat our problems away. So one or the other. And the last one that they mentioned was insomnia. Again, with the stress of probably overthinking of what is or what is not, probably bogs you down so much that you can't sleep. So what's the treatment for holiday blues? What is the treatment for holiday blues? Well, besides going to see your doctor and asking your doctor, hey, why do I feel like this? Because, of course, your doctor can prescribe you or if I diagnose you with the holiday blues, your doctor can let you know as far as things you can do in order to sort of stop yourself from going down this rabbit hole. And I say it's a rabbit hole because it does feel like a rabbit hole. You do feel like you're sort of in this little place that you can't seem to get out of at times. It's not a thing, and it is individualized. It's not something that everybody feels. Not everybody who has went through a loss feels this way during the holidays. Some people actually are contained in the memories of the holidays. So each person is different. But for those of us who may have holiday blues or have experienced holiday blues, just know that you're no weirder or anything than anybody else.
Some of the talking points of holiday blues put me in mind of the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobile with Steve Martin and John Candy, particularly the last part where after all the shenanigans that they went through for Steve Martin's character to be able to finally make it to his family, he notices that John Candy didn't have anywhere to go, so he invites him to his house for the holiday. And I presume there's been a lot of, or hopefully will be a lot of reaching out for folks that are set for the holiday with family and friends coming over, a lot of food or whatever, noticing that maybe co-workers are going through some issues and probably could use a meal and some companionship during the holiday and invite them over. So that might be a solution or one of the solutions for what we're talking about today.
So one of the things that I've always thought about when, especially around the major holidays, your Thanksgiving, your Christmas, and even your New Year, is that you take the time to sort of assess you, not in the essence of what you don't have or what you can get, but in essence what you can give, whether that be monetary or of yourself. And one of the things that I love that we did in Michigan was when my daughter and my niece were young, I think it was early mid-teens, we took them on an experience of feeding the homeless, and not just going to a regular homeless shelter. It was a church that does this, and they're probably still doing it to this year, where they literally prepared hot meals for the homeless that lived out in the parks and on the streets and things like that. And we actually prepared the meals in assembly line form, and we went out and we passed these meals to the people in the parks, in the Cass corridor, all over the area, and we gave them a meal complete with, dessert and a drink. And there was nothing, of course they were taken aback because it had never happened. When we did it, it was the first time that they did it, and so they didn't know what to think of it. And once they realized that, one, it was good food, good, decent food, they told their friends about it, and then they all started coming, to get plates and things like that. But it cost us nothing, It cost us nothing but time. And you're doing something valuable with your time. You really don't have the time to dwell about what you don't have. I remember after my mom and grandmother passed away, and my supervisor at the time, she had invited me to her church, and I went. And I remember telling her that, I was sad because I didn't have them anymore. And what she told me was, you're so busy dwelling on what you no longer have, you cannot see what you do have. And that was a very poignant statement for me. I was so lost in the loss that I didn't see what I had. I didn't see that I still had my husband. I didn't see that I still had healthy children. I didn't see that I had a roof over my head. I had a car to drive. I had a job. but I was so stuck in the loss. So, treatment for the holiday blues. Limit your commitments. Don't say yes to something, just because they come to you. Don't overburden yourself. Limit your outside activities. If you are not up to being out there, whether it is a financial commitment or a free commitment, if you just don't want to interact, don't burden yourself with it. Arrange to have family responsibilities shared, whatever those responsibilities may be. Have them shared, whether it's cooking, cleaning, whatever. Share them. And then the one that I think we all take for granted as adults is take extra time to rest and rejuvenate. I think that in itself can help with sort of shaking some of those blues. But how do you prevent the blues? That's the main thing. How do you prevent the blues from happening in the first place? How do you get, before you see yourself sort of going down this whole road, if you will, how do you prevent it? Well, one of the top things that they say is to make realistic expectations for the holiday season. What does that mean? Chris, can you tell me what does it mean, realistic? What do they mean by that? Do they mean that you go out there and buy the biggest tree and
It doesn't mean to do so, but to care beyond your means on the fact of being able to buy certain things, or say you're going to have a lavish party and you don't have the money for it. You do what you can with what you have.
Well, it's so funny that you mention that, because I think about some people where they give, like, the big, beautiful parties and things like that, and people come and they get the food, and then after all the doors are shut and they go look in their refrigerator and they have nothing.
Yeah.
You have basically did everything for this party, but you have forgotten to take care of yourself, basically. Or
maybe the fact that they live for the fact of the celebration in their home through the food that they were able to get, even though that's the last that they have. So in their ushering, people to take plates with KVB, now there's nothing left. The joy for them was to have the party, but now they have to kind of buckle down with the next week or two, depending on how their pay period is, before being able to have money to get food back in the house again.
Another thing, which I think of you when I thought immediately of you, make a list and prioritize the important activities on it.
I like lists.
I know you love lists. My husband is a list person. He makes lists. And so when I saw this, I was like, this is Chris. This is all Chris right here. But it is true. I mean, you cannot make a holiday party without not knowing what to get, or you can't do a holiday meal without not knowing what to get. So definitely making a list and making sure that you prioritize what's on that list is very important, and it will stop you from being burdened down.
Yeah, I also like the fact that, some people, when I mentioned this, kind of took me to task, but I think it's very important to ask many questions. And I say that on the fact that you have guests, especially guests that you don't necessarily know or are coming new to your home, on the fact of possible allergies or things that they're not.
Well, it's funny that you mention that, because nowadays we have more people that are going vegetarian or vegan.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can't look at a person, just like you can't look at a person and tell that they have a disease or an illness, you can't look at a person and tell that they are a vegan. So,
the fact of what's the celiac disease?
Celiac disease,
can do gluten,
all kinds of different things. So it is best to ask. You cannot presume or assume anything.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing it says is live in the moment, and I think that one right there should have a platinum star next to it. I think we are so busy trying to make moments that we don't live in the ones that we have already made.
So basically getting ahead of ourselves on some things instead of just enjoying the present.
Yeah, I think that is it. And another one I thought that was really good is it says try a new way to celebrate the holiday. So instead of doing that, as what did Iron Man say in the first one? This is the way the dad did it, and so on and so forth. Why not make your own new tradition? Why not try somebody else's tradition? Don't box yourself up. Allow yourself to enjoy the holiday in whatever means. I think when we first got here, our first holiday, our first Christmas, we did not do a traditional Christmas meal. We actually had, enchiladas? No, was it enchiladas? Yeah. From Fry's? Yeah. Yes. So we actually went to Fry's, which for those of you in the Midwest, that's in everywhere, that is our Kroger affiliate market. And we actually had them prepare a Southwest meal for us. So we had enchiladas for Christmas dinner in respect for our new territory. So it was something new for us. Instead of doing the ham and whatever, ham, macaroni, cheese, greens, whatever dessert, that's what we did. So that was our first holiday. This Christmas, we're actually doing Jack in the Box. So go figure. It just depends on how we feel, and we're not upset about it because it's not really about that. It's about us being together as a family and loving on each other and enjoying each other's company.
Agreed.
So I think the most important one is the last one. And the last one says, spend time with supportive and caring people. And I think that is the essence of the holidays, spending time with supportive and caring people.
I agree with that. There's an episode of the show Rock where Rock is taking time out to have a celebration party for one of his co-workers, and unfortunately his co-worker is very curmudgeon and short. Basically, a miserable person on the inside for whatever reason he's going through. And basically doesn't appreciate what Rock did, so Rock's wife and her wisdom basically like, well, your heart was in the right place, your mind was in the right place, he didn't accept what you have, but that's okay, because all the people that came here for him can still have a party and they still can celebrate. And I thought that was a poignant message that, you can't have bless everybody, because some people don't want to be blessed, they don't want to be bothered, they want to stay in their misery, and that's their choice. But the fact that you did try should always be accounted for, and if it doesn't work out, you move on to those that are more accepting of that. So as my wife is saying, for the most part, someone who doesn't have, and you invite them over to the house, or you bring dinner over to them, are usually appreciative of that and very thankful.
I also think pride gets in the way. And it's funny because pride has a habit of showing up. I think it is a combination of pride and embarrassment, and the embarrassment is what is portrayed as the pride. But the person is embarrassed because of their situation, as far as them feeling like that they should be in a different place in their life, and they're in this place and they don't know how to deal with it, and yet they don't want to burden someone else with the situation. I know that in going back to my supervisor who invited me to her church, I remember her giving us food. We didn't have food. We were struggling at that time. And she gave us boxes of food. Her church had a food pantry, and she gave us boxes of food. And it was an embarrassment for me. I had a job. My husband had a job. And we were struggling. And this woman opened her heart to us. And I felt so embarrassed. But that really helped me because it allowed me to pay it forward in so many ways. I think that's another reason why H3P actually exists. And that's a great segue into our fundraiser that we're doing. We're doing a fundraiser for our H3P period pouches. And those pouches actually started out as first period pouches for young ladies, young girls who were having their first periods, and they transformed into period pouches for all women who have periods. And we started that back in 2016. January 2016, we started them. And since then, we have updated the pads. We were using Always pads, and we found out about a healthier pad called the Cherish pad, and we just got our delivery today, as a matter of fact, to start redoing the pouches with the healthier pads. We want to be able to give these pouches out to any and everyone that needs them. We want to be able to have them at different various churches and schools and things like that. But we need your help in order to actually supply all of these pads. We have a fundraiser that is going on Razoo right now. You can look it up with our business name, Henderson-Hughes Health Partners, and that's Razoo, RAZOO.com. You can also go on our website, and we have the link there, h3p.org, to see that. And, of course, it is also a way for you to donate to us via Facebook as well. The thing is that the whole paying it forward thing, it's not a thing. It's just ingrained in me. I think I definitely get that from my grandmother, and she helped so many people in her life get fresh starts, whether they were family members or just people in the community. And I sort of have picked up that mantle, not knowing at first, or not even acknowledging at first, but actually when taking a review of some of the things that I have done in my life, I can see where I have picked up her mantle. I have, helped so many people, common strangers at times, and friends and family. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm saying that it's just ingrained into me. And I want to be able to help all these women, especially those women who are homeless, who can't afford to get sanitary napkins, to be able to have this kit in order to help them will be a blessing in a tremendous way. No donation is too small, and I really hope to see it. We're trying to raise $20,000 in order to make 4,000 kits. You guys, anybody want to give us a call at 516-453-9934. So the gist of this whole thing, and the reason why did I pick holiday blues? I know that's a heavy, heavy subject. I think I just wanted people to know, especially getting so close to the holiday, that I know that everybody is not having that whole sunshine lollipops feeling around the holiday season. It took me a while to sort of get back into wanting to celebrate the holiday. Yeah, I celebrated it because I had children, but now it's the whole thing of wanting to sit down and watch the Christmas movies and enjoy decorating the house and things like that. And it took a while to get there. Do I still have moments of the holiday blues? Of course. I'm human just like anybody else. However, it's not as long as it would have been back in the day. You have your moments where you do have your memories, and those memories do embrace you, and they love you, and you love those memories. The thing is when it comes to the holiday blues, it's more so of being focused on what you don't have instead of what you do. And because of me knowing that I have so much to be thankful for, the holiday blues, when it comes around, doesn't stay long. So I truly enjoyed having this conversation with you guys. And Chris, thank you as always for joining me in the studio. We definitely look forward to our next show Not sure of the subject as of yet, but again, you guys will find out as soon as we do. I want you all to have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. Whatever holiday you're celebrating, you will hear from us next Saturday. You have a great week. And as always, we are thankful for you all. And have a great day. Bye. Okay, so that's that. So it's in the bag.
You got enough time?
Do you suffer from chronic CFED or can't focus energy drain? Try over-the-counter Vibrant. One tablet contains the same caffeine as a cup of coffee, but without the calories or coffee breath. Vibrant. Caffeine, not coffee. Taking Vibrant may result in a lack of drowsiness, improved productivity, and better cash flow from decreased coffee spending. Unexpected job promotions have been associated with Vibrant. Vibrant may decrease the urge to zone out, doze off, or exhibit signs of slacking. All jokes aside, always read the label, take only as directed, and limit caffeine as it may cause real side effects. Not for children under age 12. Do you suffer from chronic CFED or can't focus energy drain? Try over-the-counter Vibrant. One tablet contains the same caffeine as a cup of coffee, but without the calories or coffee breath. Vibrant. Caffeine, not coffee. Taking Vibrant may result in increased productivity and decreased dread in setting alarms. Unexpected enjoyment of the graveyard shift has been associated with Vibrant. Vibrant may be a better budget option than drinking coffee. It may also decrease the urge to doze off, skip work, or exhibit signs of slacking. All jokes aside, always read the label, take only as directed, and limit caffeine as it may cause real side effects. Not for children under age 12.